saying hello to everyone watching this video back. I decided I wanted to do this kind of as a open live discussion. I'm going to be doing some other things in this little live as well. Sorry about the camera. I'm holding it with my hand. I'm on my bed right now waiting for a layer of paint to dry. So thought I would just go ahead and start this live. Um, so basically, just to preface like people watching this back, um, I'm basically going to be talking about reborn guilt, and I mean by guilty being guilty for selling our dolls or changing our collections. Reborn guilt, as in buying all these things for dolls when there's babies in need. That kind of thing is what I'm going to discuss in this live, and I wanted to do it live so we can have this conversation because I think it's interesting to think about, and I'm also going to be painting a little bit in this video. I'm just waiting for a layer to dry. But oh my gosh, you guys, has it been a long week? I know technically this week was actually shorter because Monday for a lot of people was actually a holiday. It was Martin Luther King Jr. Day. But this week was also my first. Sorry if it's like lagging, being weird. It's probably the Wi-Fi here. Yeah, so this week was actually my first week of classes for the spring semester, and let me tell you guys, this is going to be a very difficult semester for me. So I don't know how many videos I'll be able to get out. For reference, for today, I spent 4 hours on my physics homework. So that should tell you how this semester is going to go for me because I'm taking. Because this would also have been the semester I graduated if I didn't need to take more prerequisites for med school. Unfortunately, I still have classes I need left to take for med school, so hopefully next semester is when I graduate. But we'll see. It might take longer. But this semester I'm taking organic chemistry, physics, my senior capstone class for my actual degree. So I have to write a 5,000 word final like paper, but that's over the whole semester, so I'm not really worried about that. I'm more stressed out about the organic chemistry and physics because they're not easy classes separate, and I'm taking them at the same time. So that's why I'm just going to preference with this. With I won't be able to probably make as many videos or do as much as I would like to because it's going to be a very difficult semester. Yeah. So hello, people. Hello. So yeah, I'm a little stressed, but I guess it's because it's the first week and I'm trying to get used to the class load. But yeah, so it's kind of one of those things where I probably just have to get used to being back in intense classes because like last semester was a little difficult because of my one class, but this is like several difficult classes I'm taking at the same time. And I'm also trying to keep up my grade point average, obviously, because I want to go to med school. So I have a lot of pressure that I'm putting on myself. So, but yeah, so first week of classes is done. Luckily, I don't have any classes scheduled on Thursdays. So yesterday I had plenty of time to like study, and eventually when we go back to working, my actual job is when I'll be working on Thursdays. But for now, Thursdays are just going to be times where I study or paint and study. But yeah, so anyway, the topic, like I said, it's a very vague topic. Like the title is just very vague because it's a topic that can mean a lot of different things. So I'm gonna start talking about like I don't know. What do you guys think of when you think of reborn guilt? For me, the first thing I automatically think of is people always guilt me for selling my dolls. Even though for me, personally, I don't really keep dolls forever. Like a lot of people have dolls that they call like forever babies. I don't really do that because for me, part of the joy in collecting is having the different sculpts. And there's so many and I don't like to keep too many dolls at one time. Let me spit out my gum. But I can't tell you how many people I've had like, I can't believe you sold that doll when you said you were so in love with it. And the thing is, I was in love with it probably at that time when I got the doll. But over time, I personally get tired of seeing the same sculpt or seeing the same doll over and over every day. So eventually I sell them and then I get new ones and then I sell them and I get new ones. And yeah, I get people think I should like keep the dolls forever just because I like them at one time. So I feel a lot of guilt sometimes about that, like buying and selling dolls. But yeah, definitely for me, that's a big part of Reborn collecting. I mean, especially right now because I'm still in a dorm, there's not really a lot of room for a huge collection. Um, Either way. And then next semester, come August, I will be moving into a 2 bedroom, hopefully, apartment. So will my collection be a little bigger than it has been in past? Probably not. I usually cap myself around 6 dolls is how many I like to have at a time. I don't see myself going over that even when I have the more space. Like they'll be in their own separate room that I'll keep as my like painting studio and their like separate space. But I can't see myself needing to collect more than 6 dolls. I mean, there's people I know in this community who have like hundreds, and I just don't see the purpose of that. I've talked about this before. The purpose of having that many dolls when you can't give them attention or even look at them and take them out without difficulty. But yeah, so that's the first thing I think of when I think of reborn guilt is people trying to make me feel guilty for selling dolls that at one point I was really fond of. But uh yeah, that's like one of the things. And then another thing is something I also think about a lot is, oh my gosh, the fact that for me personally, I thrift shop a lot. That's mostly what I do for my dolls when I'm buying clothes for them. And I can't help but think sometimes, am I taking the opportunity for a real baby to have clothes by buying from a thrift shop, um, where it's cheaper? Like, am I buying taking clothes away from a baby in need? Is what I think about sometimes when I'm thrifting. Um, like, for example, if a mother needed the same size clothing as I did, but I had just bought it all from the thrift shop. Obviously, that mother is not going to be able to get those clothes that she needed for the price she needed. So that's something I do. Like, I try to be considerate of. So I always like leave things of that particular size when I'm thrift shopping. Like, I won't take all the newborn stuff. I won't take all the 0 to 3 month stuff. Just in case there's, you know, a situation like that. Especially if I go to Goodwill, for sure, I don't take all the items of that one size just in case. But like, I feel so guilty sometimes, even though I do that, because it's like, well, am I taking resources away from people who need it? I don't know. And same thing with like buying, like, okay, it's not so much as a problem here in this town because this town doesn't have a lot of babies in it anyway. So normally I don't really have to worry too much about it. But for example, say you go to Walmart and you buy some diapers. There's not a lot left, but you take the majority of the packs of diapers for your reborn dolls. I feel like maybe that's not the best thing to do when there's if you know you're in a community that has actual living babies. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think about the idea of that maybe sometimes the things that we do with our fake babies might put real babies at disadvantages? Um, if you're in a smaller town, that's something for sure to be aware of. A smaller town that has more of limited resources, but actually has more children. In my case, I'm in a small college town that doesn't have a lot of children, in general. So you thrift out a season. See, I would try to do that, but our thrift shops here don't really carry things when they're out of season. Um, so yeah, it they don't really carry things around here out of season. They'll put out our Goodwills will put out things for the summer that are in season and then take them down and you know. So uh, that's a good option if your thrift shops will do that like carry things regardless of the season. Um, but then another like portion of this goes into the money that we spend. Um, I think it was Springflower who made a video about kind of about this recently. Sort of. I didn't watch the whole video because I try not to watch when I'm thinking of a topic and a similar video comes up. I don't want to watch the whole thing because I don't want to be influenced by what that person is saying. Um, but like the fact that we spend so much money that could be donated to help real babies is something I do think about a lot, and I do feel guilty about for sure sometimes. Like, um, for example, I was even thinking about I'm probably gonna buy a new bassinet for when I move into my apartment, and I think about that and I'm like, well, if I'm buying this for a doll, why don't I like help someone else with a real baby buy a bassinet? But then I think it's like it's not my responsibility. I have the money and it's my money to spend it on something that makes me happy. I don't necessarily have to help other people. But then saying that makes me feel like a bad person. I don't know, it's like a very tricky subject to think about like what responsibility do we owe others if we're able to help? I mean, for me the dolls are like a form of therapy, so you know, dressing them and taking pictures of them is a form of therapy for me personally. So it's like it's not like I'm just doing it just for fun. I'm doing it to relax, like especially when I have a stressful day or a stressful week like this week has been. Um, I don't know. When I buy from thrift stores, I try to donate the same size clothes to replenish it. Yeah, so that's actually okay. That's a good point. That's what I try to do. Like I'm taking a bunch of stuff that I'm no longer using for my dolls and I'm donating it back. So, and when I had a car seat briefly before, like my first year, um, that I got back into collecting, I had bought a cheap car seat, and then when I was no longer needing it or using it, I cleaned it up and I just gave it to someone for free in town. So, and it obviously wasn't expired or anything. So, I think yeah, as long as I feel like as long as you donate stuff back, maybe you shouldn't feel guilty at all. Like you should realize that it's like a cycle that you're donating, you're getting something, donating, getting something, donating. So it's not like there's a lack of things available for real babies. So yeah, I guess if you're as long as you're donating back, that's probably a good way to keep yourself from taking. But yeah, no, for sure I definitely think about the this money I spend a lot. I mean, granted, I don't spend a lot at all, which is why I'm able to be able to move into a two-bedroom is because I've saved and saved and saved. And that's also why I'm going to be able to buy a car very soon as I pass my driver's test and etc. Which, oh gosh, my driver's test is on Tuesday, so wish me luck, you guys. I've been studying like that for that like crazy for the past like month. Um, but I'm still nervous because the only thing I struggle with on the like driver's practice test are about the point system and the fines if you get your license suspended and all that. But every like the driver's rules and all the signs and stuff, it's kind of like self-explanatory. I feel like it's kind of like common sense. But yeah, so I don't spend that much on the dolls in general anyway because most of the stuff I get is thrifted or it's on clearance. And even the dolls themselves, a lot of them I make, like a lot of the collection dolls that I have myself, I save money because I make them myself. Um, or if I'm gonna buy a new doll, I'll sell a doll or two and that way I'm not really spending money because I sold one, then I bought one. So, um, yeah, clothes are better because no spit up on them or formula. Exactly. Yeah, yeah. I When I donate clothes, I always, of course, make sure they're in good condition. Even when I buy clothes from thrift shops, I always make sure they're in great condition. Um, Reborns are not cheap, so there's not really cheaper dolls. Usually they start around $200. If you don't care about it being an actual reborn, I would say Ashton Drake or Paradise Galleries or Kimby Dolls. Those are the only three legitimate companies that make realistic dolls that are not reborns. Reborns are not manufactured, so when those type of dolls that I just mentioned are not reborns, they're just like realistic factory dolls. Um, so those are the only three though. Kinby dolls, Ashton Drake. Sorry, my friend is texting me. Kimby Dolls, Ashton Drake, and Paradise Galleries. Those are only three companies that you can buy from. All the other ones that you see that are showing these like super realistic dolls for like less than $100, all of those are scams. Um, so let's see. What did my my friend is supposed to be dropping off my textbook, so hold on. I don't know if it'll kick me off live, but I need to check to see if they're outside. Okay, sorry. Yeah, they're on their way here eventually. Like they'll be here soon to drop off my textbooks because I had to order because of COVID. They did things differently this semester as far as like um, sending out textbooks. So you had to order them to be like delivered, and I couldn't figure out how to order them to my school's my campus's USPS post office. So I had to order it to my friend's apartment because I just could not figure it out. It was like telling me all these different things to do. So yeah, they're just gonna drop my books off, and which will be good. Anyway, but yeah, so be careful about these scams. I've made a video about it. I've made several videos about the scams, but they keep it doesn't matter like how many videos it seems that people make or how many times people talk about the scams. People are still getting scammed, and I'm kind of like it's horrible to say, but I'm kind of just like at this point, if you don't look up the company before you spend money on these sites, it's like it's kind of on you at that point because there's so many things when you look them up that come up about the scam sites. Like all you have to do is look them up and see if it's a scam or not, and it'll many videos will come up, many like uh, Google searches will come up talking about how people keep getting scammed from these Chinese companies that are illegally reproducing the kits. So yeah, at this point, like when I see people like, "Oh, I got scammed," and they find their way to a Reborn page, I'm like, "Well, how come you didn't start doing research beforehand?" I don't know. People are just kind of, eh. They don't like to do their own research, and then when they get scammed, then they're sad because they didn't do their research. Um, it's weird to me too because it's like why like some of these people are getting scammed on dolls that are listed for $30, but they're like super realistic. It's like, have you never been anywhere like a store and you've seen that even like the horrible like cheap toy dolls are more than $30, a lot of them. So it's like, what makes you think in your mind, I paid $30, I'm gonna get like this super realistic doll? No. I don't think a lot of people have common sense. Do I like Bountiful Babies? Yes, but right now I don't shop from them that much because they don't have a lot in stock. And plus, the problem with them is they increase their shipping to $10, which is not worth it for most stuff that I get from them. So usually I shop other places now. I definitely do not shop Bountiful Baby unless they're having like a sale on something I actually want to justify spending the $10 on shipping because sometimes the things I need aren't more than like sometimes the shipping is more than the things I need. And then they don't even do like a lot of other Reborn supply companies, they do free shipping over $100. So yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. Their shipping is mm, not. It's expensive. Um, it's just not worth it to me for the most part to shop from them anymore. Maybe when they start getting more kits that I actually like back in stock, I'll start shopping with them a lot more. I am working on a Bountiful Baby kit right now. It's a Reborn Daphne, which is one of the newest Reborns. I she was I had to purchase a kit from there anyway, so that's why I ended up buying her too. So yeah, I only shop there when I'm buying more than one kit because otherwise the price comes out to like the same price as if I bought a kit from McPherson's because with Bountiful Baby, their kit prices have increases for one. They have increased like normal. I can't remember how cheap their Realborns used to be, but their Realborns now are like $65. I think some of them are 70. Some of them are like 65, $70, and then you have to buy the body, which if you don't buy it on sale, it's like I think $20 now. So that's already with that you're already at 85, $90. Then you add the $10 shipping, you're already at like $100. Then you add the tax, you're over $100. So you might as well just buy a limited edition McPherson's kit or a kit from Irresistibles at that point because you're going to be spending the same amount of money. But if you do it from a different company, you'll be getting a limited edition kit, which sell better and sell for more. So yeah, that was a complicated explanation, but that's why I haven't been buying from them as much recently. They just everything and it's and I don't blame them. It's because of COVID that their prices have increased and stuff. The shipping has increased because I don't really know why their shipping increased. I think it was because shipping overall from USPS increased, so they therefore increased their shipping too. But I don't understand why they can't do what other companies do is uh, free ship over 100. I don't know why they can't do that. Maybe they just don't have the funds or the means to do it right now because they'll probably lose money doing that. I don't know, but I also don't know how or why they haven't been able to restock their kits. I mean, it's weird because other places like McPherson's, Irresistibles, Dolls So Real have been able to restock their kits. So it's like I don't know, like what's going on with them and their suppliers, but all these other companies have been able to restock at this point. I don't know. But they like what keeps happening with them is they'll restock a few kits at a time and then they'll get sold out right away anyway because people buy them up like crazy as soon as they like restock them. So then they're out of stock again. So exactly, unless I get a custom for a BB baby, I always buy from McPherson's. BB increased because of the lawsuit. Yeah, the lawsuit kind of has disappeared. I don't know what's going on with that, or if they're still doing. I don't really know what's going on with that lawsuit. It's been real quiet from both parties, of course. Um, I don't know what's going on with their lawsuit, but it's gotten real quiet. Like they just stopped talking about it, both parties, which good on them. Like, I mean, it's a lawsuit, but it would be nice to know if it's near its completion because it's been over a year now um, since the beginning of the lawsuit. Trying to buy 3-month Joseph in June, they're always out of stock. Well, they used to not always be out of stock. Like Joseph was one of the last ones that went out of stock when everything was going out of stock because they had so many of him. Um, but if you're looking for Bountiful Baby kits, you can look there's a kit group on Facebook that sells blank kits in this Facebook group. And there's also, if you go on reborns.com with the S, reborns.com, there's a section where it says accessories. And I know a lot of people put up their blank Reborn kits up there from time to time. So worth looking over there. But right now, everyone's increasing the cost of their kits, even Bountiful Baby kits. They're like, because they're sold out, they think they can charge like twice the amount that the kit actually costs. So you have to be careful with that. Don't get like scammed. Like, for example, I saw someone list a Reborn kit for like $170 the other day, and I was like, it's not a limited edition kit. They're gonna eventually be back in stock, and that's just a ridiculous price. But I talked about that in my other video, how it's kind of like people just are like increasing the kits because they're sold out. Weren't they supposed to go to court in July? I have no idea. Like, I stopped paying attention to it. It got exhausting. Stephanie Ortiz is an exhausting person. So I got tired of following it. I didn't want to hear anything about it until it came to an end, but now I'm kind of curious. I'm like, what happened? Let's see. What did my friend say? Sorry. So yeah, my friend is gonna I have to go get like my shoes and stuff on in case they show up soon, because they're not gonna come in. They're just gonna tell me they're here, and I'm gonna get the textbooks out of the trunk, which means I'll probably have to leave you guys without me for a couple minutes while I grab it or take you with me, but I don't think I should, because I'm gonna need both hands to carry the textbooks. Oh, okay. They are saying another thing. What is going on? I wish they would just text me instead of Snapchat at me, because when they Snapchat me, I have to go out of the live to see what they said, but if they were just texting me, I could just see what they're saying right here. Got 2 kits. Can you buy Reborn kits from McPherson's? No. Reborn kits are only Bountiful Baby Company kits, but you can buy them off of other people. Like, other people have Reborn kits that you can buy that they bought from Bountiful Baby. I'm working on, like I said earlier, I'm working on a Reborn Daphne. You probably can't see her coloring very well, but I'm not really happy with her coloring right now. She's showing up on camera better than when I'm seeing her, but she's not the color. I'm trying to do a more like pink tone, and right now she's really orange, so I'm gonna have to like correct that somehow, get it to more of a reddish pinkish color. But right now I'm not happy with her. What the mistake I know I made, because I thought this was the way to go about it, I did some skin tone layers before I started adding in the pinks, and that is the mistake I made for sure. That I should not have done. I should have built up the pinks first, I think. Because now she has this weird tone to her. But I'll figure it out, and I'm gonna try not to restart, because I hate stripping kits and restarting, especially because I really like how her veining looks. So I'm like, I don't want to start over. I really don't. But if I have to, I have to get that skin tone I'm really going for. But oh, what did they say? Okay, so they're already here. So let me. What am I gonna do? Gotta put on my mask. I gotta go put on my mask, and I guess I'll put you guys in my pocket. This is gonna be weird for someone who's joining in this live right now, because you're gonna be in my pocket for a second. So many fruit flies.
Oh.
It's more.
I put in a maintenance request.
Yeah, they did come by, and they're like, oh, we'll come back.
Let me know this weekend how it goes, and I can do another one.
Yeah, they were like, we'll come back Tuesday, and I was like, oh. Hello. They're like in my pocket. The trunk open. Oh gosh. Yeah. Thank you. Bye. some of the swipes. Bye. Okay, sorry. I have secured my textbooks. Oh god, that's gonna be weird to watch back. It was my best friend and their partner, their roommate were all in the car and they were like, "Hello?" And I was like, "I'm live! Surprise! They're in my pocket." Um. Oh, but yeah, what I was talking about, what I was just talking to the people sitting out. If you don't know how a dorm building works, there's a front desk, like a lobby in most dorms. There's a lobby, and then we have night assistants that sit out there and keep watch of people coming in and out of the building. If you get locked out of your room, or if you need something during the night, you have night assistants that sit out there, like that's their job. I'm putting on hand sanitizer. Um, to sit out there and manage the front desk overnight, certain hours. So they sit out there, and I was talking to them because when I came back, um, I have a infestation of freaking fruit flies all over my room. So if you see me like doing like that, it's because there's fruit flies all over the place. And I was so mad. I was like, it's not me. It's not my fault because this is my fourth year in a dorm. So I know that when we go over breaks to take out all my food, everything that, any kind of bugs would want to get into. So it wasn't me. Apparently, the people in the building, a lot of them are first year students, and they like left out like milk and stuff and stuff, nasty stuff and trash in their rooms. So now the building, like because of where my room is located, is all these like fruit flies came from there and like all around the building and are like just everywhere. And I'm just like, all I can do right now is put out like cups of. They love apple cider vinegar, so I have like gross little cups of apple cider vinegar all over the place, trying to track them and kill them. But the maintenance people are gonna have to come back and like spray something because it's ridiculous, and it's just so annoying because I didn't do it, and now I have to suffer because of other idiots. Which is again why I am not living on campus again. Even because I'm going to have a fifth year of undergrad, I refuse to live on campus again, which is why I was saving up my money because I cannot do this, like living in a dorm and having to have people just like, you don't have really like a real sense of see because maintenance can come in your room at any time they want. You can only have certain things in your room, blah, 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 blah. There's so many rules. So it's just I'm so glad to be moving into an apartment. That's all I have to say. But since I'm down, I thought I'd show you. So Finland is actually for sale. I'm gonna make a video, talking about her. She is for sale. This is the Levi kit. She is for sale. I'm kind of over the Levi kit at this point. I have now had two different versions of the kit. This is one I painted and rooted myself. She's really cute though. But yeah, she is available still. So she's really cute. But no, I think I'm moving on. Like I want a different type of doll. Like I want a different sculpt. I have a couple sculpts in mind uh, to paint for myself to replace her. And I'm expecting another doll, but I'm not going to talk about. I'm actually expecting two other dolls. One that I'm going to paint myself, and one that another artist is painting. One of my most favorite artists. She's painting one of my favorite kits at the time, and I'm so excited. So that's also why I'm selling. I sold Miles. Miles has already sold. He'll be shipped out Monday because of when she paid. But Yeah, so my collection is going to be completely changing. The only doll that's staying in my collection, that's been in my collection this time period, is my Alexis kit, which is Emerson. She's the only one that's staying right now. Um, I don't think I'll be getting rid of her anytime soon. I really enjoy that kit and I like her. So for right now, she stays. She makes the cut again. But yeah, all the other dolls I had are being sold, and I'm going to be getting a new newborn girl and a new newborn boy and another doll that I'm not going to talk about yet. But I did order the kit for that one. What any other updates? I don't know. Can you guys still hear me? Okay. I don't want to like be rambling and you guys can't even hear me. Oh, I hate when the lighting does that. Maybe you guys can't hear me. Can anyone hear me? Because you were in my pocket, so I don't know if I hit anything by accident. I don't know. I hope you guys can hear me. If no one's responding, so I don't know if anyone can hear me or not. There's people watching, but no one's saying anything, so I don't know if I'm even technical difficulties. I don't know. Well, I hope you guys can hear me, or at least the people watching it back can hear me. Because there's something else I was about to say. Something important about my channel coming up. It'll come back to me. I need to put her in the oven because this layer is now dry. Maybe I'll exit out and come back live. Yeah. Just so I can make sure people can actually hear me. Let me exit. I'm going to go back live in a second.